Montgomery County is moving forward with the Clarksburg Gateway Sector Plan, adding more housing and developing the Up County. But critics say the transportation plan relies heavily on bus rapid transit while ignoring the reality that I-270 is already congested, more like a parking lot at times, and there's no serious plan to expand it. Marice, the county, continues to approve more housing in Clarksburg, but instead of expanding I-270, it's leaning on this bus rapid transit, which many commuters don't see as realistic substitute as, the plan detached from how people actually live and commute.
It's a valid question, Casey. However, we can't deny that there is a housing issue, not just in the DMV, but nationwide. So I think at the very least, this is addressing the housing needs, but also it creates incentive for the county to really truly invest in, job growth in other parts of the county. So that way you would have people living in Clarksburg, working in Clarksburg, or even just commuting up north to Frederick, for example. I've done the reverse commute to Frederick. It's, even though I have to take 270, it works just fine. So I think at the very least, to create other job hubs, that would be great. But then also, as somebody who had 100% rating on by the legal conservation voters every year that I was in the House of Delegates, I am wearing my environmental pretty plant flowers today. Flower earrings today. I would say, we do need to have a more, I would say, conscientious effort to get folks to use mass transit. And, I don't think that the BRT is going to cut it. I don't think that the stops and the infrastructure is there yet. As somebody who has to drive from all of Years Mill to get to downtown Rockville to get to my office, I agree. I don't think that commuters are there yet, but I think that this is a step in the right direction.
Marice, when the council expanded from 9 to 11, there was hope that there would be greater representation in the Up County. But frankly, it's still the power base, the political power base is down in Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, and in Bethesda. And I can tell you, if those people had to schlep up I-270, even to go to Falls Road or 28 to get off, they would reconsider their plans, what they're thinking about. Jackie, let's be blunt. If you had to add thousands of homes without expanding road capacity, it's just going to get bad to worse, isn't it?
Yeah, much like my road rage, it's just going to get from bad to worse on 270. You're completely right. It's like a parking lot. Marice is also right that we need more housing, but this is like building the track while the train is moving. Until we build the infrastructure, we shouldn't be expanding the housing and making congestion worse. We need to expand 270 first. And to the point about environmental, if we're adding more congestion to 270 and people are just sitting there not moving and their cars are running, we're actually polluting more than if we expand 270 and people can get to where they're going faster.
Well, look, 3 months ago, the council, voted to kill a highway plan that would have allowed for additional highway relief from Clarksburg up, to the other parts of the county. So, I mean, they seem to be acting at cross purposes, Marice, that on one hand, they want to build, they want those tax dollars, but they're so afraid of the environmentalist. I'm sorry. I know you got your earrings, but
I don't think it's being afraid of the environmentalists. I think it's understanding where resources are being exploited, and we need to be conscientious. I mean, again, this is an issue that does fall on party lines. So, I respect Jackie's opinion, but I think that we do need to have a more concerted effort in changing and incentivizing folks to go into mass transit. We see it all over the world. We see it in Europe, we see it in Asia. Why can't we do it here?
Marice, I don't want to be mean, but when was the last time you took a ride-on bus? I mean, honestly, I'm sorry.
I started my comments saying exactly that.
If you have to go to court, you're not gonna wait for a BRT to take you to
Absolutely
downtown.
not. You're absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think that the stops are in strategic places. I don't think that we're still dependent on roads, and so then because we're still road dependent, the efforts that we do have around mass transit are just not enough to change behavior.
Well, look, from a geographic perspective, you have geographic centers like Gaithersburg, Rockville, Silver Spring, and then around them you've got a lot of land, and people can't have to be able to get to these economic power centers in a reasonable amount of time. Jackie, I'm going to give you the last word on this.
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. People are going to prioritize their convenience right now. As somebody who used to take the ride on bus to work when I lived in Rockville, it's not always the most convenient thing. If you're running a little bit behind in the morning and you just don't have time to make your bus, that's not an excuse to not be on time for work. So sometimes it's easier to prioritize working around your own schedule than, mass transit that isn't meeting the needs right now.